Shepherd of Light is a puzzle game where you are a strange light child who has to collect all of your strange light sheep after you lose them when your father leaves for a while. He entrusts you with keeping them all safe, and they get scared away by wolves, so you have to prove yourself and go get them all back. The start menu looks good with a simple layout and nice visuals, and some good calm music in the background. The initial art was a little on the rougher side, but it was colourful and introduced the story pretty well. But the game graphics themselves are really well done and visually appealing. You have a slider and the options to darken it, which I did a little, and it can give a really nice contrast to the glow effects. You get a little tutorial to start off with. The controls are easy, it's just WASD to move, left mouse to tell sheep to go place, and right mouse to tell sheep to come back when you're close enough to it. You also get a bit of the tutorial telling you that light sheep can repel the wolves, but they can't be outnumbered, so you can't use one sheep to get past two wolves. Nothing happens if you try it, it just repels you from passing the area. The wolves are limited to their darkness patches, and they shadow you as you pass through them. This is a puzzle game, and as you go along you pick up different types of sheep, which introduce new mechanics. The initial puzzle mechanics are doors with switches, where you have to put a certain amount of sheep on the button to open it. The lights around the button indicate how many you need, and you just have to open doors, collect more sheep, and figure your way through. The first special type you find are shock sheep, which when you have one each side of special switches, can create bridges between them. However, these sheep don't have the ability to repel wolves, which means if you have to leave them in an area with wolves in it, they have to be accompanied. And if you need to leave sheep behind on switches and then go through an area with wolves, you have to make sure that you have enough of the light sheep left to get through. It adds another layer in considering what type of sheep you use for what, and you can swap between controlling each type with your staff. You have to collect each type of elemental ram to complete the game, and each new type helps you pass the next level to find the next ram. So the storm ram helps you unlock the fire ram, then you get fire sheep, which have the ability to channel fire from the ruins and destroy or move obstacles. You can chain the reaction along multiple sheep to reach switches that are further away as well, so again there's another layer to the puzzles. And again, the fire sheep have no effect on the wolves, so the light sheep are still very important. The fire sheep help unlock the shadow ram, which is the only one of its kind and has the ability to pass through the wolves' dark zones on its own without detection. I did get confused at first because it said left click to control, so I tried to command it to go to a switch I needed it on, but it wasn't going. Turns out you can control this sheep with WASD by left clicking on it, and it can return to you wherever you are as long as you're in range to right click on it. All of these combine to where you have to hold switches open to channel fire, to move obstacles, and to do that you have to cross a bridge, and all the sheep type mechanics are combined in a good way to help solve the puzzles. I do like that the standard light sheep hold their importance all the way through the game. Since none of the other sheep can repel the wolves, it means they're still key to solving all the puzzles all the way through. When you get the golden ram, you complete the game. The only real flaw is that the shadow ram is quite hard to understand at first. It just says left click to control, and considering you've been telling other sheep to stand in certain places by left clicking, it is confusing why it doesn't work at first. Other than that, it's a good game. It's about an hour's playtime to complete, it's easy to understand with a simple but effective story, and the puzzle mechanics all work well. There's no real way to get stuck from what I could see by accidentally leaving a sheep behind or something, which is always a bonus. I'd like more of it, but that's a testament to how good it is. And as already said, I do really like the visuals. The staff changes colour between sheep control types, and all of the shadow and light contrast is pleasing to the eye. I think if you went too dark on the slider at the beginning it might be a bit too hard to see some bits, though that could increase the difficulty. It did actually remind me a little bit of Duncan and the Wisp at points with the staff and different elements of stuff, but of course Duncan involved fighting the elements and was also terrible, so Shepherd of Light is definitely much better. All in all, it's a good little game to kill an hour of time, and whilst some of the puzzles are thinkers, they aren't too difficult, so I'm going to give Shepherd of Light an 8.5 out of 10.